Welcome back. Today we are testing the new Storm Trend. If you like what we do, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and check us out on Patreon. A big thank you to Jeff Miller and Ron Hoppy. Don't forget to check out Haley's Pro Shop in Burlington, Washington for world-class drilling and coaching. We are testing on a typical medium house shot. First impressions, the Storm Trend feels very familiar, a la Hyroad Pearl, Idol Pearl, etc. Alright, let's jump in. I can see the trend ticking a lot of boxes for many bowlers. Sometimes signature lines tied to a particular bowler can be polarizing, however, there's no doubt Belmo's the best in the world, and having his name on the ball is going to help sell them. With that out of the way, and here we go. R2S Pearl, where have we seen this before? Everywhere. Hyroad Pearl, Emerald, IQ, Astrophysics, just to name some current balls. It works, and it's going to keep coming back as long as it does. It lasts a pretty long time and still matches modern conditions. We saw the piston core in the Pro motion. I was a fan of that motion, and you can tell the core created a strong, reliable down lane shape. Here we seem to get a combination that on paper would appear to be the bee's knees. Honestly, I first thought this is definitely reminiscent of the Hyroad Pearl, but the more I threw it, the more it felt like the Idol Pearl. As you expect from the 1500 grit polished R2S, it's clean. The core has definitive shape, as did the Icon core and the Idol Pearl. This is basically like getting an Idol Pearl in an R2S cover. And that is to say, the cover's a touch weaker. So, it's cleaner, a little snappier. It makes it, I would say for me, a little more over-under out of the box than the Idol Pearl was. I would definitely work this cover to a light scuff or a 4000 spinner to smooth it out. Once you do that, I see it being, very similar to the Hyroad Pearl, maybe a little more angular, but that typical kind of control mid-late shape ball. Bryan also had a chance to test the Storm Trend, and we did this during the same session as the Parallax, and I mentioned that there's some overlap with shiny Storm balls for Bryan, and you'll see that he can certainly play the same shot to the pocket around the second arrow, fairly direct up the boards. He was able to miss a bit in and out with good forgiveness. You'll see he slapped out a couple of stone 9 pins. The Trend definitely felt like it had punch, but forgiveness for Bryan. He had more recovery and continuation over the Parallax. Where the stronger asymmetric Parallax would kind of stand up a bit more, the Trend kept arcing, which is a hallmark of a symmetric cover over the sort of symmetric core over the asymmetric core. Bryan enjoyed tossing the Trend, and while on the surface it might not look vastly different than the Parallax, it was definitely much easier to use. It is different in terms of shape. He didn't have to work too hard to manipulate his physical game to get the ball to work. It just worked. So final thoughts. At the end of the day, the Storm Trend looks like it's got the makings of a hit. If this were to go in my bag, it's slotting in the mid-late category. As a lefty, I have to admit I'm a little on the fence if it's too quick down lane for me, but I'll experiment with some surface to see if it smooths it out enough to land in my arsenal. For Bryan, it would be the same slot. I'm going to give the Trend around a B+, and hopefully we'll be back with a longer term look and a view on the sport shop.